So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of At the Buzzer Sports, where we talk all things basketball all the time. My name is John Drummond, and today we will be reacting to the irony of the 2018 NBA Draft 7 years later. Now, off the top of the head, we got DeAndre Ayton, who is now the starting center for my Los Angeles Lakers. We got Trae Young, we got Luka Doncic, we got SGA, we got Jalen Brunson, we got Mikal Bridges, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. There's a whole bunch of talent in this draft. So, my question, and you guys can leave it in the comments, does this draft class rank the highest from 2015 to 2025? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat.
The number one overall pick. Luka Doncic.
Hold on, let me go back.
No doubt, no hesitation. Take Luka Doncic with the number one overall pick. Luka Doncic is the guard wing 2-3 from Real Madrid and Barcelona. He's 18, 19 years old. He's spent the last 3 or 4 years since he's 16 playing professional basketball against men.
2018. Honestly,
I'm not gonna lie,
one of the most important NBA years.
That background music scared the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, cause I'm in a basement. I'm in a basement right now, and my camera's moving. I'm in a basement right now by myself. That background music really did just scare me. Not gonna lie.
Of the last decade, the year we seen the last championship team actually go back to back, which seems extremely rare now. The year LeBron decided to leave Cleveland again and take his talents to the Lakers. The year Paul George literally surprised everyone and decided not to go to LA and instead stay with OKC and Russ. But most importantly, the year we seen one of the greatest draft classes ever produced.
Ever. This is one of the greatest draft classes ever.
I made a video about the 2018 draft class before, but this class took such a significant leap since that video that I just had to retouch it. The biggest mistake in this draft was the Phoenix Suns actually getting the number one pick and not drafting one of the greatest prospects we've ever seen. We're talking about a kid that was definitively the best player in Europe at 18 and won the MVP.
One thing we're not going to do. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was a great pick, but I can understand the pick. That's like going back in 2020 and saying James Wiseman was a bad pick for the Golden State Warriors when LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, all those guys were there. Desmond Bain was all the way in later in the draft. But I understood the pick in 2018 wanting to take DeAndre Ayton because DeAndre Ayton was the consensus number one pick. At least I would believe so. He was really good at Arizona. So
Yes, I understand some people question his athleticism and how exactly what he did in Europe translates to the NBA. But in my opinion, that was based off of other international prospects that were all-time misses. This dude was clearly different. And it wasn't just Phoenix. This man was passed on twice. Vlade Divac.
Again, Marvin. I mean, the Kings, I would have took Luka, even though I was the guy. I'm not going to lie. Now, y'all got to listen to me, and I'm going to just say this. I thought Marvin Bagley was better than DeAndre Ayton. I thought Marvin Bagley was the best prospect in the draft. Is it because of my Duke bias? Maybe. But keep that between us. We're going to keep that between us.
He was a part of two of the dumbest draft day moves ever. The Charlotte Hornets in 1996 infamously traded this guy for Vlade Divac. And in 2018, this time as a GM, Vlade was once again involved in an all-time draft day miss. This clip right here, this is Luka beating up on the Kings and taunting Vlade, saying this guy should have drafted
What went into
me.
the decision to not draft Luka Doncic and to go with Bagley at that number 2 spot?
Marvin's for us, better fit, better player, and great talent. So it was easy choice for us.
Going into this draft, these are all the teams that had the longest active playoff droughts. The top two teams, they both passed on the generational prospect in this class. But we know poorly run organizations, they always make silly moves, and that's why they're known as
That's
poorly
another
run.
one. Oh my God, the Kings got some misses. Wow. Wow. Because now Tyrese is better than I don't care. I don't care. You're not going to try and tell me that De'Aaron Fox is better than Hallie. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
Organizations. Remember, in 1996, the Charlotte Hornets traded Kobe for Vlade Divac. And I guess history truly repeats itself because in this draft, they did something very similar again.
They really did.
Today's
They really did. People think the Clippers drafted SGA. By the way, you're not about to get the SeatGeek ad off. I'm hating. SeatGeek won't hit me up, so.
Obviously having a lot of picks through the work in the summer. And I think this organization, they've obviously done it in the past with guys like Russell, Kevin, and James. So I think they know what it takes and they know how to do it. And it's only a matter of time.
like every draft in basically every sport, this one was filled with mistakes. Now, what makes these mistakes feel so damn monumental is simply how great this draft ultimately became. Shea started his first 12 collegiate games on the bench, so he was always a bit overlooked. The Charlotte Hornets had Kemba Walker at that time, so they chose fit, drafted Miles Bridges, traded back with the Clippers, who ultimately chose Shea. Pretty ironic because two of their biggest draft day what-if moments happened with them trading two future MVPs to LA teams. One team just happens to be the Lakers and they turn teams' mistakes into rings, and the other LA team happens to be
because your team traded him.
Well, my reaction was we're getting Kawhi and Paul George. Having said that, I did bring.
That's another thing. Like, a lot of draft day mistakes come with hindsight. Because in the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard was just coming off of his finals run, and Paul George just put up a top 3 MVP season. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like the trade was stupid when it happened. When the trade happened, everybody was looking at the Clippers like the best team in the league. We're not about to sit here and act as if when the trade happened back in 2019 that everybody was like, oh my God, SGA, why would they trade SGA? Why would they trade SGA? No, that was not the case. That was not the case. Like, okay, I understand in hindsight, you don't get any rings out of it. Paul George isn't there anymore, and Kawhi's like taking money under the table. Okay, I understand. But at the time, when they traded SGA and a whole bunch of other stuff to go get Paul George, everybody was looking at the Clippers like championship favorites. Championship favorites. That's exactly how people were looking at the Clippers. Championship favorites. Wasn't nobody talking about SGA going to OKC when the trade happened. Nobody was talking about that. And I'm sorry for leaving you guys on a Hobby Lobby ad. Sorry.
Did say, man, can we give them somebody else? Like, we cannot give up Shea. I even told Kawhi when he was saying, like, I need another guy. Kawhi, Shea's going to be a star.
Now, I'll always ride with this trade being valid for both sides because if you lived it,
Thank you.
understood it. But bro,
Thank you.
can
Like,
anything ever, and I mean ever, actually go right
has been
for the
diagnosed with a
Clippers?
torn meniscus in his right knee. Sources confirmed.
With the NFL, everyone talks about the infamous Herschel Walker trade that essentially built the Dallas Cowboys dynasty in the 90s. That was a move where a championship win-now team traded for a championship win-now player, and the rebuilding team actually won a championship before the win-now team. Well, based off of what we seen last year, this trade basically flirts with that in NBA terms. OKC moved from a player they were never going to win with, got an all-time haul and an all-time player, and rebuilt a championship team organically faster than the Clippers can microwave theirs. And focusing specifically on that 2018 draft, look at who they traded. In the history of the NBA, these are the players to average 30 points or more for 3 consecutive seasons. The list really isn't that long.
hold on. Players with 3 consecutive 30-plus point seasons. Now, y'all let me know if I'm tweaking. I'm pretty sure that says 1, 2, 3 straight 30-point seasons. Let me know if I'm tweaking. I don't see Giannis here. They be slighting my boy, man. They be slighting my boy, man. And he about to make it 4 straight. He about to make it 4, and it would have been 5 if he would have just scored like 7 more points on a random night. Because in what was that? 1920 average 29.9. I'll be disrespecting my boy. Y'all got 2 other Bucks guys on here.
All-time scoring peak.
Did you ever figure out why Sacramento didn't take you?
No. But they said because they had Fox, so they needed a big, which I get.
But even in this 3-year span, where Shea has been basically historic scoring wise, Luka has still been the top scorer. That's because since being drafted, nobody outside of Giannis and Jokic has had a bigger impact on their team than Luka. Before Dallas even got Luka, they hadn't even won a playoff series since they last won an NBA championship. They get one man, and in this 6-year span, they make a conference finals, make an NBA finals, and take down 2 number 1 seeds. Mark Cuban was literally on record saying he divorced his wife before he let Luka play for another franchise. And well, no more Cuban immediately equated to Luka playing for another franchise? The Lakers at that? Mavericks ownership. They literally used Shaq as an example of a player that worked hard every single day when, admittedly, he didn't. But imagine if in 1995, after we seen Shaq take Orlando to the finals, we never seen him play a meaningful game for Orlando ever again. That's literally what happened. But that one wasn't Mark Cuban's fault. Sounds like ownership wanted to completely go a different direction. But this one was.
Trading their first round pick away. And for what? To go all in on clearing cap space in hopes of signing Jalen Brunson? Look, I mean.
Again, another guy I did not think would be as good as he is right now. And if you tell me Jalen Brunson, you thought Jalen Brunson was going to be that guy, you're lying to me. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Jalen Brunson is good. Trust me. He was good even with Dallas, especially in that playoff run. But no.
Jalen Brunson is a nice player. Hope the brother comes, hope he gets paid. But the Knicks are acting like he's KD. I'm going to repeat, Jalen Brunson.
If you look at the players with the most points per game in the playoffs since 2023, you see a 6-1 second round.
Y'all see who at the top of that list, man? Mind you, he didn't even play in the playoffs last year and got swept the year before that. That Denver series, man, I tell you.
Jalen Brunson. When Jalen Brunson initially went to New York, clearly no one seen this. But now, I can honestly say 3 years later, this man literally saved New York basketball. Prior to Jalen Brunson arriving in the last 2 decades without Jalen, that team won 19 playoff games total. Jalen Brunson in 3 years is already past that, and he got them back to the conference finals.
Brunson's just not a game changer. I don't love the Jalen Brunson signing. I think it's too much money. And I think if anybody screams potential bust in this class, and there's always some, right? Guys sign and make a bunch of money. Every local media guy, every fan says, this is amazing. It never works out that way. Not everyone's amazing. If anybody is that bust, to me, it's Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks.
It's an awful idea. And Jalen Brunson's a fine player. But Wild's pal Bill Simmons put it perfectly when he called it the saddest sweepstakes ever. The Jalen Brunson sweepstakes. Is Jalen Brunson one of the 10 best point guards in basketball?
The crazy part to me is the fact that even though Dallas could have gotten him for this steal of a deal, he's still playing for a bargain of a deal given what he gives to that team every single night. In 2024, Jalen Brunson chose to sign early and sign for this deal when he could have waited and signed for this deal. That's a $113 million difference. Consequently, he's the 52nd highest paid player next year. But I told you, Jalen Brunson basically saved New York, and he did.
If you're happy and you know it's happy.
Again, he's way better than me. He's way better than me. I'm taking the bread. Like, in the end of the day, you got to feed your family. You have to feed. And I understand $156 million is more than enough to feed your family, but you can never have too much money. Never, ever. I'm sorry. I would have took the bread.
That's because the last time they made the playoffs prior to Brunson, they got broken by this guy. Now, the season directly after Trey did all of this, he actually had his best, most efficient year. Trae Young's momentum and the Hawks team collectively, it simply got halted right after they made this move.
Trey, you can score all the points you want. You can make all the money you want. You can have all the leading assists you want. You can do all that. If you don't win, that shit won't matter. If you don't win, when you're retired, they're going to forget your name. Fast, too. Super fast. And this is...
I'm not going to speak on the Pat Bev stuff. I'm not going to speak on it. I feel like all my thoughts have been said by other creators.
This is... In order for him to reach me in the playoffs, he has to get to year 13.
In the DeJounte Murray and Trae Young's last year together, these two were literally the most expensive players on the team, and they were the worst pairing together.
You were an all-star. What was your reaction at the time? What's your reaction now as you process it?
I mean, top 24 players, best players in the league are supposed to go there, and they're not getting the top 24 best players. They're missing one, so.
To me, this hurt Trae Young's stock way more than it should have. In 2023, he was actually voted the most overrated player amongst his peers. In 2024, he was top 3. Now, they're finally undoing that. Last year, they traded DeJounte Murray and actually got back a nice package and Dyson Daniels, who finished second in DPOY last year. This year, Trae Young is surrounded by the best supporting cast he's ever had. Just look at this spacing in the preseason with Zachary, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Okongwu. This man finally has the supporting cast to complement what he does well. This man finally has two-way wings. And now I expect this team to win a lot, which would actually make these numbers matter.
Might shun at. DeAndre Ayton got Monty Williams fired. I'm going to say that. DeAndre Ayton got Monty Williams fired.
Just like I showed this clip of Luka basically taunting Vlade for not drafting him, well, this game felt like that exact same thing to Phoenix. This series alone basically broke up DeAndre Ayton's tenure with Phoenix. And you can even argue Luka was the better big in this series.
We'll be all right.
Was there a reason that DA only played the first 2 minutes of the second half?
Like the spirit in the game. Like the spirit in the game.
Yeah, I wonder with you and Luka, do you guys have some shared energy when it comes to having a chip on your shoulder right now? I mean, you got the history of the draft, history with the agency, and the last couple of years that you've had. Is that something where y'all connect in terms of trying to prove some folks wrong right now?
If you guys like this video, let me know in the comment section exactly.
He ain't even talk about Aiden. He ain't even talk about him. Bro, okay. DeAndre, man. I really hope you prove the world wrong, man. Anyway, if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ATBSports1. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at TheBuzzerENT. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at TheBuzzer_. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.